everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. Today I'm going to do my card club video for August. So I always love doing these. I love my card club. It's a stretch for me, and then I know that you all enjoy it too that are in card club. So when I get going on that, I'll explain to you what card club is. But before I do that, if you caught my series, The Art of Stamping, two things. This card kind of is a miniature version of The Art of Stamping for my card club ladies. But my upcoming online retreat, it is online. Maybe I'll do, it's too expensive right now in Indy to rent any place. So maybe in the winter they'll drop the prices. So maybe in the winter I'll have a live version of it. But for now it's still online. The theme for that will be the art of stamping. So a lot of the things that I did in those videos, we will do in the retreat. So I'm finalizing details on that, and then I will post registration on my website, and you'll get the information in my email. And I'll probably do a preview project for that as well here. I don't have the stamp sets. I haven't exactly decided what stamp sets I'm using. You don't have to use the same ones, but right now the ones I'm picking, I don't think I have any of them of, which tells you where I'm going with it. And then before I get that up, I want to get my Try It class out. So Try It class took place in July. Those are my most popular classes. You make 12 projects. You get to see all of the new stuff in the new catalog, which was the July to December catalog. So I always make a few extra packets. If you join my team, you get one free, and that was guaranteed in July. Now at this point, it's if I have some left. And then I make extras in case something happens in postage along the way and I need to replace any. So I have a few extra. Those are for sale right now on my website. I will put a link underneath this video if you want to grab one of those. Once they're gone, they're gone. It's a huge amount of work, and there's no way I'd ever make just one more because it would take forever. So with my card club is a subscription service that I have. So you go to PayPal subscriptions and you sign up. It is $38 a month. You can pause or cancel anytime you like. So it's not like a lifetime commitment. It's not like the gym where I make it hard for you to cancel. You can either do it yourself if you need to pause it if you're going on vacation or you just get backed up, or I can do it for you either way. And then I can't sign you up. You have to sign up yourself because that's agreeing to pay money. But PayPal does it all. You do not have to have a PayPal account. They can use your credit card or however you want to pay, and you just pay them, and then they keep track of everything for me. So every month, $38. Everybody gets to see on my public channel the first project. So this is the first project for August, and then the other two are just in there. I send videos for them. It's of course video based. They do get a photo of the projects, and then we make 6 projects. We do 3 designs and 2 of each. So the one I'm going to show you today, they will have the supplies to make 2 of each, including the envelopes, or they can save their alternate one and do it for, I send alternate projects, then I Zoom, and when I Zoom with them, and about once every 3 months, and here's my baby, I mix it all up. So something that they have in July, I might give them, use what we're getting this month. So the ribbon and the papers and the stamps all get mixed up when we Zoom together. So they can save their supplies for that. You get a ton of stuff. And you're going to see in just a second what they're getting this month. So this month, every month they get paper. Usually it's a half a package of designer series cardstock. This month is something completely different. They almost always get a full spool of ribbon. You can tell she's terrorizing my desk. Her name is Edith. But my husband has nicknamed her the terrorist because as cute as she is a Spitfire. So she's just knocking everything over to the side. And this morning I decided I was going to start today super clean. So they get a full spool of ribbon, and this is 95% of the time. Like this month, I'm kind of switching it up. A full packet of embellishments, and then normally a half a packet of designer series paper. This month, I'll show you what they're getting because it's a little bit different. So everybody's getting a full package of the adhesive back seasonal sequins. Those are from the Candy Cane Suite. This is mixed up stuff, guys. And then they're getting a full spool of the satin edged ribbon. And it's kind of golden vanilla. You'll see it in a second when I use it. Then they're getting a half a packet of these 3 papers. So the distressed gold, because it's my favorite. And then a half a packet. I cut them in half so I don't know the names. It'll be down below. A half a packet of this. It's, I can't remember what it's called. And then this is the metallic glimmer paper that is in the holiday catalog. And they're getting half a packet of that. So 3 sheets of each of the colors. And then the stamp set that we do every month, they can choose to get it, and I pay shipping and handling and tax. Or if they have something similar, then they can just substitute it, because I know y'all have a lot of leaves. If you've been with Stampin' Up! Very long, we love our leaves. And every year I'm like, I don't know, I'm not going to need the leaf set, and every year I get the leaf set. So this time we're using soft Seedlings. I love the font in it, and wait till you see how it stamps. And it's just a standalone stamp. To be in my card club, you do not have to have a lot of fancy stuff. You don't have to have a die cut machine. Anything that's die cut on our projects, I send to you already die cut, or if it needs to go through a folder. So you can have one, and sometimes if I do a bundle, they can add the bundle as well. And then this month, I'm going to have a special offer where they can also get a celebration if they bump it up. So that will be in the information. I don't have any place to put this. So I'm going to make the first card, and this is kind of how it goes. I only have this stuff on the table, and it's a hot mess. So let's start with the ribbon, because it's going to need a little bit of time to dry. So here is the satin edged ribbon. So you can see it's clear in the middle, and this is pretty thing of gold, which will look fabulous with all of the gold cardstock and the gold sequins that we have. And then I think it says in the catalog it's vanilla, but I don't want those colors on here. So I'm going to take my ribbon, I'm just going to lay it on this Post-it note so I don't get this all dirty. And then I'm going to let's start with, you can use sponge daubers and ink, or you can use blends. The blends will dry a whole lot quicker, and it is going to take a second for it to dry. That's why I'm starting with this. So this is my light strawberry, and I'm just going to kind of color with that. And then I'm going to go with my dark petal pink, and you can use whatever colors. I just picked some pinks, and I'm going to kind of overlap there right where they touch. And then I'm going to do, I don't know if it's dark or light cherry cobbler, And you can do as much or as little as this as you want. And then I'm also going to go back and get a tiny bit of this right here. And then a tiny bit more of this. And then I need to make sure that, of course, I have my centimeter side of my paper up. You need to make sure that it's 5.5, nope, that's the inches, 5.5 inches long. That gives me extra. So yeah, I have 6. That way I can kind of slide it and see what colors. Now, if you're making more than one card, just go ahead and keep coloring, because it's super fun. And look how pretty that is. Now the gold, I think the gold is more highlighted. Now imagine this in the paper. I am sending them evergreen. I'm sending them some navy. I'm sending them some succulent. Think of all the different colors that pumpkin pie when you color the ribbon, or you can just use it as is. But this way it can be customized to be whatever color. And again, if you use the blends, they dry fairly quickly, not as quickly as on paper. If you use the sponge daubers and ink, it will take a little bit longer because it'll just be a little wetter. It's hard to tell where the petal pink is. Just cut that off, and I'm going to make sure that's nice and dry by the time we go to use it. Yeah. And then I'm going to give them 2 pieces of this, which is vellum, and it's from the Lovely Layers vellum pack. So you can see it gives me a whole lot of these. So they'll get 2 pieces of the vellum to use on this card. And then it's going to have to be trimmed down a little bit. For this one, I chose the pink of whatever. I can't remember. I should get the catalog and tell you what this is. It'll be down below the video. So, of course, everything came in their packet this size. So you can see where I've cut the piece that I've used. So we need to do 4 inches. No, I didn't do 4. 3.5. Do 3.5, guys. I just almost always do 4, so I just said 4. So 3.5. And then I'm going to do 5 1/4. So they will have to cut this. So if you're in club, cut that 3.5 by 5 1/4. And then take your distressed gold. So we had 3.5. Sorry, we need 4. So 3.5. I can't even do math, which math is not my forte, but normally I can do better than that. You need 1/2 inch. I thought 1 inch looked way wide. So 1 inch. And I like to cut this obviously first, because now when I do the 5 1/4, I'm not wasting much. If you do the 1 inch off the other direction, then you will have more paper missing. So now this will fit as a 4 inch piece on the front of our card. So it just has this little little hint of gold, and then we'll also have the gold in the ribbon. Well, we're going to need to cut some more in a minute, but we need to stamp first. When I chose these ribbons, here's my thought process. I wanted something that looked like fall, and the fall paper, it has such, I love it, it's beautiful, but it has such stark images of the pumpkins and the squash, and I didn't feel like it went with the soft seedlings. And fall just makes me feel of texture and colors, and so I thought, well, I'm just going to make my own packet. So take your piece of vellum, and this is a little bit, if you caught my art of stamping, this is a lesser version of that because I'm not going to use a Stamparatus. Now, if you're in club and you have the Stamparatus, feel free to do it. It will give you a much deeper layering of color than we're going to get doing it this way, but this way works perfectly fine. So I'm going to take my soft suede. Now you could use the blue paper and do blue colors. You could use the greens and do green colors. I'm doing the pink, but you can use any colors to start the base. But I'm starting with a light brown. You can use crumb cake. You could use sand if you have some of the retired in colors, or some of those that will work. So I don't have the Stamparatus, so I'm going to use sponge daubers. You can use a blending brush, or you can just use your stamp pad on here if you want. So that whole thing now is soft suede. Now I'm going to take my early espresso and my sponge dauber, and I'm just going to give a little bit of highlights. Now here's the difference between what I'm doing now and what I did the other day if you caught the art of stamping. On the art of stamping, we used a Stamparatus. So every time I inked, I did a color, and then I would open it back up and do another color. So that was layering color on top of color, which you kind of think this is the same, but it's not quite. And here's why. Because when I add this, it's also then pulling up some of that soft suede. On this leaf, it's fine. It's fine on any card, but it's not exactly the same. And I'll show you a second when I switch to the reds. So there's our little maple things. My husband would hate this card. My daughter, when she was little, she wanted to plant a maple leaf in the backyard, and it's ginormous now. Our tree's ginormous, and these little maple seedlings go everywhere. And we have a pool. Yeah, it's his worst nightmare every time of the year. So now here's some sweet sorbet. And so here is the little dauber that I've been using on the sweet sorbet. So I want to make sure that the cherry cobbler is kind of gone, because that's the color I'm going to end with. Now, when you put the sweet sorbet on here and you lift up, now it's lifting some soft suede with it, and I don't want to get that all in my stamp pad. But now, instead of layering color on top of color, it's really kind of taking it off and mixing them. So get a little bit more sorbet here. That's the fun thing about fall leaves. They're kind of all colors. So get that gone. And then I'm going to use my cherry cobbler. It's a darker color, so it will mix, and it's still going to lift off, but not quite the same as the... And I don't care as much if I get some soft suede in here because it's a darker color. You wouldn't want to do it, like if you're doing it at a class, they need to clean it off between everyone. But I didn't want some soft suede in the middle of my brand new sweet sorbet. That's a lot of S words. Stamp pad. So again, you just get this off. So you can see it's still cherry cobbler, but it has a tiny bit of that mixed in. Now you're going to want to take this. I'm going to move this out of the way. That's why I have two. And then, because it's been a minute since we have started with that first coat of soft suede. And again, if you're doing it in your Stamparatus, every color, you can just do one, stamp it, do another color, stamp it. But for this, we need to make sure that all of the ink gets re-moistened. So just take it up and breathe some hot air on it. And that will re-moisten everything. Now I'm going to go almost all the way to this corner, and I'm going to aim my little stem up here in the corner. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want it towards the right-hand side of my card. And then it's a large stamp, so just make sure you get everywhere. If you're in your using your Stamparatus, it doesn't matter, because if you miss, you just ink it and do it again. But with this, we get one shot. And isn't that beautiful? So pretty. And then in a minute, I'm going to show you a mess up, because I know some of you guys think I never mess up. But that's not the case. I'm going to take my cherry cobbler. I think that's what I used. You can use it. You could use the browns. You could use a different red. But I'm pretty sure I used this. And this is the Thinking of You out of the stamp set. I'm going to put it up here towards the leaf. And you can kind of see it has a little divot in it, the Thinking of You. I'm going to get that crooked if I stamp like that. So put this paper on here straight so I have something to aim for. And then I'm going to put my thinking of you right there. And then you can just leave it. And if you're going to leave it to dry, it will dry on the vellum. It will take it a while because that's what I messed up on. And I will show you. Now, if you have embossing powder, not only does it make it dry instantly, but it looks beautiful. So this is our clear, but you don't have to. And alternately, if you just want to stamp this on some regular cardstock, you could do that as well. I had a couple of questions about whether or not how easy it is to wipe the embossing powder out of here, because I don't do it on the videos because I don't want to waste time putting it up. I think I did maybe in the first couple of times I used it. But if you take the embossing buddy that comes with it, and right before you, I should have done it on this one, right before you use it, just kind of lightly swirl it through there. This comes out really easily. I just always move it because who wants to watch me do that? I don't even have any place to move it now because I didn't dump the stuff back in. So hopefully that doesn't fall. And we're just going to heat this. Because vellum, the ink on vellum takes a while to dry, that you're able to do this. It's super easy to see when it melts. Just hold it in one spot. And as it goes nice and shiny, just move it along. But you want to hold it in each spot because especially like those tips, it can be hard to see if you got them. And then when you think you're done, just kind of wiggle it around, especially on the tips of the leaf. I don't think I got right there. Nope. Because on this, it's not going to, if the powder falls off, it's still going to have a beautiful design underneath it. If you use colored, clear, like Versamark and colored powder, then the design just disappears. On this, if it wipes off, then it would smear. Because I let this sit for probably 10 minutes and then I went to glue this on, and this one was very pretty. But when I flipped it over, look, because then the next thing you know, you can see it's still in my hands. I tried to wipe it off. I had cherry cobbler, and that did sit for probably 15 minutes, and I thought I was good. So it just depends on how muggy your house is, the time of year that it is. And I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to trim it a little bit shorter. So right up, which is very easy to do on vellum paper. And you can see it's crooked. It's okay. My other one was nice and straight because I wasn't talking. But this will allow our beautiful pink paper that we're going to put behind that to show a little bit more out the sides. So you don't need to trim it a lot. Just get that off. And then if you have too much left on this side, you'll want to move it over. That looks pretty good. If you just stamp towards this side, you'll be good. Just don't put it right in the middle. Now let's just put this together. So they have soft suede for the card base. And then you have a piece of white, and this isn't for the insert. And this is why the only reason I gave you the piece of white is because this is here. I haven't done anything to it, just laid it aside. So it's been sitting there all that time, and we've already stamped with it once, but it's such a pretty stamp. And I wanted to make sure you saw it because it's a little bit harder to see on the vellum. But look how pretty that is. And that's just with the leftover ink. You could probably get it 2 more times and then blow hot air on it and get it again. But that's kind of how it stamps. Not on vellum, because the vellum is a little bit harder to see the detail of. And you can see how more the strawberry is showing on here because that got sucked up the top. But look at those veins. That is just a beautiful stamp. So this just goes on the inside. I have a lot of stuff for this card that doesn't even have a cut and emboss need. And where most of the stuff is cut already out. So put that in there. So pretty. That could be a front of a card. So if you'd rather save that and use it on another card on the front, feel free. And then we are going to take our pink piece here. And remember, this is 3.5, so mount it over to this side. Here. And then I'm going to take my Stampin' seal. And I'm going to put 1 strip here. And then 1 strip right here. Because I want this to kind of be like an old-fashioned card where there were layers. Because this paper is beautiful. And now this will, people could lift up and look at that beautiful paper underneath. So mount that kind of over there. That's why you wanted to stamp your leaf that direction. And also because we're using vellum, now this is going to hold that on. And this Stampin' Seal Plus is super strong, so that's not going anywhere. And then before I go on, I'm going to take the maple leaf. See how smeary that is? In soft suede. And right here in the middle, because you will be able to see behind it, I'm going to stamp one. And then kind of like they're falling, but I'm going to let them get lighter and lighter. So this one that ends up right here is pretty light. So now there's a little bit of that behind there. Just another little fun thing that you can do. I'll take your, oops, wrong one, your Seal Plus, and you can see where the vellum has covered that up. I need to add it back. So just put a little strip of that there. Then take your tiny, now this is just a 5 1/4 by 1/2 inch strip of paper, but look what it does for this card. It's just, this paper is fabulous. So just add that there. And then we're going to take our ribbon that hopefully is dry now. And I'm just going to lay it on here, and then I'm going to trim the ends. And this is the other reason I wanted that Seal Plus. You could use glue, but this dries instantly. So there we go. Just take your ends and snip them. And imagine this card now in all the colors. Like if you start with blue and you do some like purples and browns on your card, how pretty that would be. So we have that, which I think they're strawberry, which was kind of where I started when I started with this strawberry blend. This card went through a couple of alterations before it finally made it. And because I want it to look beautiful, I'm going to put 5 of them on here. Plus, when you do Card Club and you get a whole package of these things, you have a lot of stuff to work with. I don't want that one there. It just fell right off. Let's do it down here. I'm going to do my big ones here, so it kind of looks like they're falling, and then just grab small ones. Let's do that there. So there is your first August Card Club project. Here's my other one. They're all going to look about the same. If you're interested in joining my card club, the link will be down below this video. It's in my email. The email that has this video tutorial will have all the information. And then there's a complete card club page on my website. You have to sign up by the 10th of the month to be in that month. There's other perks, like the girls in card club get $5 off Try It class. They'll get $5 off the upcoming online retreat if they want to do that. All they have to do every month is send me pictures of their finished projects, and just in a text or an email. It's so much fun when I start getting all of the pictures, and they just send me 3. There are 3 finished cards. They don't have to do both of them. And then if you send it to me and you're done before I mail out the next month's, then this is how I do it. I have to pick stuff that doesn't weigh a lot. Like these don't weigh a lot because I want to change the cost of postage. But then I just have my husband pull 3 labels. I pull all the labels of everybody that sent them, and then he just pulls 3 out that he can't see. And if your label gets pulled, then you get an extra embellishment of some kind stuck in your packet. So that's fun. After every 6 months, on the 7th month or the 14th month, then they get loyalty gifts that are valued at $25. So it's some stamp stuff, it's some bags. It's always different. They always get a little treat in with their card club as well. So it's a super fun thing to be part of. It's the lowest cost thing that I do by far, just because I always know it's coming up. So it's a nice, reliable thing for me to do. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will catch you back here later, and be watching for the registration to open for my retreat. See ya. Bye.